Good morning. This is Watchdog News with the breaking news update for February 15th, 2025. So let's begin with some international news. Let's talk about the Middle East. So hostage exchange between Israel and Hamas. And a significant development. Hamas has released 3 Israeli hostages in exchange for 369 Palestinian prisoners. This marks the 6th such exchange under a month-old ceasefire agreement. The International Committee of the Red Cross has expressed concerns about the condition of the hostages still held in Gaza and emphasized the urgent need for access to them. Ceasefire tensions and U.S. involvement. Tensions surrounding the ceasefire persist, with Hamas postponing the release of additional hostages, citing Israeli violations of the truce. In response, Israel's defense minister has warned of resuming military operations if the hostages are not released promptly. U.S. President Donald Trump has echoed this stance, indicating severe consequences if the ceasefire terms are not upheld. Mediators from Egypt and Qatar are actively working to maintain the truce and facilitate further negotiations. In Europe, the Munich Security Conference highlights. At the Munich Security Conference, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy called for the establishment of a unified European army to deter Russian aggression. He emphasized that Europe's future should be determined by Europeans themselves and stressed the need for cohesive defense strategies. The conference also highlighted divisions between the U.S. and European approaches to the Ukraine conflict, with U.S. officials advocating for concessions to Russia, a stance met with criticism from European leaders. U.S. Russia peace negotiations. In a recent development, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Putin have agreed to initiate immediate negotiations aimed at ending military actions in Ukraine. This decision follows a formal telephone conversation between the two leaders, marking the first direct exchange since February of 2022. Both sides have expressed their intention to work closely to find a diplomatic solution to the conflict. The Vatican. Pope Francis is hospitalized. Pope Francis has been hospitalized in Rome for the treatment of bronchitis. The Vatican has stated that he will remain under medical supervision as necessary, but no specific timeline for his discharge has been provided. The Pope is reportedly responding well to the treatment. Government and policy changes. Right? Let's talk about the U.S. for a minute. So mass layoffs across the U.S., federal agencies. The Trump administration, in coordination with advisor Elon Musk, has enacted sweeping layoffs across multiple federal agencies. Over 9,500 employees have been dismissed just in 1 week alone, with agencies such as the Department of the Interior, Department of Energy, and the Department of Agriculture's Forest Service among the hardest hit. The administration's goal is to reduce the size of the federal workforce, so critics argue this move could weaken essential services, including environmental protections and regulatory oversight. Even the U.S. withdrawal from the World Health Organization, the WHO, on January 21st, 2025. President Trump formally withdrew the United States from the WHO, citing concerns over the organization's leadership and financial transparency. This decision moves the U.S. from global health initiatives, including pandemic response coordination. Health experts worry that this could weaken international collaboration on disease prevention and emergency responses, particularly in managing outbreaks like avian flu and also tuberculosis. Federal funding cuts to educational institutions. In a major policy shift, President Trump signed an executive order terminating federal funding for schools and universities that enforce COVID-19 vaccine mandates. The order aligns with the administration's broader push for individual medical freedom, but has sparked concern over potential public health consequences. Restructuring of the U.S. health agencies. So Elon Musk is leading a newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has implemented significant structural changes within the CDC, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and other health agencies. These reforms include mass layoffs, right, of employees and changes to assess protocols for sensitive health data systems. Public health officials warn that these disruptions could hamper efforts to contain disease outbreaks and manage national health care programs. Economic and financial developments. The U.S. retail sales drop amid harsh winter weather. The U.S. economy saw its steepest retail sales decline in nearly 2 years, primarily due to severe winter weather, conditions that disrupted consumer spending. Retail analysts predict that if the economic conditions do not stabilize, the Federal Reserve may reconsider its current policy stance, possibly delaying interest rate cuts. Global and geopolitical shifts. Smaller nations rethink alliances. In response to President Trump's assertive foreign policies, smaller nations like the Cook Islands are reassessing their geopolitical partnership, traditionally aligning with Western allies. Many are now engaging with China to secure investments and trade agreements. This shift could weaken the U.S. influence in the Pacific region and bolster China's economic foothold. Challenges facing older Americans. Social Security and Medicare struggles. With the U.S. population aging, federal programs like Social Security, Medicare, and SNAP are facing mounting financial pressures. Many retirees are discovering that benefits are not keeping pace with inflation, forcing them to rely on the government assistance and family support. Economists predict that Social Security funding could be depleted by the mid-2030s, prompting discussions on potential reforms such as raising payroll taxes or adjusting benefits. And that's all I have this morning. It's a quick rundown of Saturday, February 15th, 2025. I'm Jared Wesley Campbell. This is Watchdog News in association with Watchdog Ministries. We're always looking out for all of you. Thank you all again. Please stay informed, stay vigilant, stay watchful. All right? Love you all so much. I am out. Have a very blessed day.